I've done a couple of courses already, and I've enjoyed them, but I did find that the time away from my practice was quite challenging in terms of just getting work done and that kind of thing. And I found that while I was doing practical work, it was brilliant to be on site at the course. A lot of the theory I felt I could have done from distance, and then when I heard about Dominic's course having the online element, I thought it was a fantastic idea.
I chose the online course because I'm a busy mum. I've got 3 children and I don't get a lot of time to myself. So this was great because I could literally fit it around the children when I got home from work. I could do a little bit here, a little bit there. And it worked really well for me, and it was presented in a really simple way. I found it really easy to understand, and yeah, it was really good.
It allowed me to review the work and do the online lectures in my own time, in the evenings or weekends, and then also go into work the next day, speak to my boss, who's my mentor at the moment, discuss cases with him and that kind of thing, and it allowed me to apply the information I was learning online immediately.
I had a little boy a few years ago, and I didn't want to give up one of my days off when I was with him to come on a course when I actually managed to fit it in the evenings, or maybe when he was having a nap, and that's why it's worked so well for me.
In the new year, I decided I wanted to do something and change the way I was going in my career. I rang the practice, they were really helpful. She did say it might be too short a time because there's only 4 weeks till the residential side of the course, but I knew I'd got a few days off, so I thought I'd just blitz it and do it, and managed to get it done within a couple of weeks. It was hard work, but when you're a mum of 3, you just go for it and carry on, so it was fine.
I wanted to do the residential course first, but they didn't have enough spaces, so they offered me the online course. I thought, you know what, there's nothing to lose. I'd rather do that than wait another year. Initially I was a little bit sceptical, but to my surprise, I really enjoyed it. The beauty about the online course was that there was sometimes areas where I didn't understand it the first time. I didn't understand it the second time, but the third time, you go over it, you revise it, and you can go through it again.
So the wonderful thing about being online is you can repeat things, pause things. I often paused because I like to write notes as I'm learning, so I did loads of notes. Then rewound it, watched it again, make sure I got it right. It worked really well for me, and it was absolutely brilliant. I've got nothing negative to say at all.
You wonder sometimes with an online course, will we be able to ask questions? You can't physically put your hand up, but I thought the discussion board and forum was perfect for that kind of thing.
Yeah, so if you ever had any questions and you wanted to ask it when you were after you'd watched one of the lectures, then you could post it and Dominic would reply pretty quickly.
You could post a question on the forum, you could get feedback from other delegates and also from Dominic. And Dominic was very, very quick to come back to you. So yeah, any questions I had were perfectly answered.
Other people might write a question, you could read the response that Dominic gave to that. So that was useful to learn off other people as well.
And we also did a webinar, which I thought was another brilliant way of, seeing Dominic and, putting your questions to him and stuff. So yeah, I think it worked really, really well for me.
I got more excited by dentistry, and then I came across cases that I perhaps wouldn't have looked so deeply into, and I thought, oh, how will I handle this? And I emailed Dominic on one of them and said, how would you do this? And he sent me an answer straight back within 24 hours, and I thought, that was really nice to have that somebody say, go on, give it a go, and I did, and I thought that was really helpful. So it was nice to know someone's there listening, as well as being able to do it online, so it was great.
The practical side of the course consolidated what you learnt with the lectures. You'll have your theory, let's say for an hour, and then the subsequent hour afterwards, you'll consolidate that with a practical.
Dentistry is hands-on, so you can read as much as theory as you want, but unless you actually get your hands on the teeth and put it into practice, you haven't sort of got it.
At the end of the day, we're dentists and we do everything with our hands, and if we're not doing that at this stage, then we can't fully learn.
Dentistry is an interesting profession in that you need to know a lot of theory, of course, but you have to be able to apply it practically. And I felt that the online element allowed me to really get up to speed with the theory and then come down here and really apply it practically. And I think the practical element's been brilliant. I've done it at a nice pace. Yeah, really get lots of feedback on the practical work that we're doing. I've really enjoyed it to date. It's been excellent.
I don't think if I'd done the practical, I would be as confident to roll out everything. I still had some doubts in my own clinical techniques, but being able to show somebody and say, is this right? And somebody just saying, yeah, that's great. You think, oh yeah, I can do this, it's fine. So it just gives you that bit of confidence. I think it's really important.
I was a mature student when I did dentistry, so I've quite an experience of education at this stage. So I've seen all sorts of different teachers, and I found Dominic to be a terrifically engaging teacher.
On the online lectures, he was really engaging. And then when you meet him, he is that. He's really engaging. His teaching is really clear.
He engages you constantly. He makes sure he includes everybody, whether you're NHS or private. He makes it all relevant.
He keeps things quite simple, so it's understandable. And he's obviously very passionate about teeth, and he loves dentistry, and that's infectious, so that's great.
We're learning new techniques all the time, and I think you don't want criticism unless it's constructive, and I think he was very, very good at breaking down what you were doing and helping you to make it better, basically.
I actually remembered him from uni, and I remembered how relaxed he was, and he was one of the lecturers you didn't mind going to because you knew he wouldn't shout at you.
His teaching style is unique and very relaxed. If you don't know something, he's not going to tell you off or sit you down and say, you must know this.
And the fact that Dominic is a specialist in so many different fields was very, very important for me, because I think in dentistry it's easy to look at one area or another in isolation, and a lot of guys seem to do that, and they tend to be terrific at one or the other, but Dominic seems to be a specialist in so many different areas that he can bring it all together.
I think I can learn a lot from him. A lot of younger dentists can aspire to work with their patients in a very similar way to Dominic. You should do this course if you're a dentist, because this course offered you old techniques mixed in with very new techniques. So it's consolidating old things that you sometimes forget how to do, and you want just a bit of a revision about it, but also it really does throw you into the deep end in terms of brand new modern technologies coming in from America. So it was unique in that respect.
For me, it was terrific. The distance element, the fact that you're not getting that time out of surgery, the fact that you can review all the lectures because they're online, you can go back through things that you weren't 100% sure about.
The course offers you practical everyday dentistry, and also offers you the dentistry that you'd like to do, let's say once or twice every 6 months.
I've got courses where, the guys they're amazing, but the work they're doing isn't applicable to the general practitioner. Whereas I found that Dominic's work, and the practicals in particular, were really reproducible, and it was pitched to everyone's different level. So for me, I'd recommend it to all my friends and colleagues, because it's relevant to you as a practitioner, and it's very, very accessible.
It wasn't just a case of this is the brand that we use and you must use that. Dominic was really good at giving different examples of different brands to use, whatever your sort of practice can afford, which I think is again unique to a lot of other postgraduate centres out there that will just focus in on one brand and one brand alone. And the beauty about it, it's tried and tested here as well. These guys have got years and years of experience that sometimes we can't afford to put into our practice, but they've already gone and done it.
Yeah, I'd definitely say to any of my dental friends, or I will definitely go back to the other associates in the practice and say, come on the course, you're going to increase your confidence, increase your skills, you'll do evidence-based dentistry, and you'll do good dentistry well, which is what we all want to do.
I don't think I'd have to convince my colleagues. I'm probably going to drive them potty when I go home talking about the course, so I think they're just going to go on the course anyway. It's the best thing I've ever done, and I'm so invigorated by it. I'm so passionate about dentistry again. It's sort of it's brought my passion back for dentistry. I was going to the point where I was just getting a bit fed up with it all, doing the same thing all the time, and not having the confidence just go to that next level, and now I do.
It made me better. It's made me a lot better, a lot more knowledgeable. And it's made me enjoy my dentistry a lot more, and that for me is key, because I look forward to going to work in the morning to implement the different techniques and skills that I've learned from Dominic. So yeah, that for me has been huge.
I was feeling quite stagnant in practice and a little bit demoralised, but I feel like I've got my spark back and I'm really ready to go on and practice what I've learnt, really.
You can go away feeling, yes, I've learnt something in that 1 week. Also in the months prior to that, it's just been a great learning curve, and at the end you come away with a lot of information, a lot of knowledge, and a good amount of experience.